Jorge or Daniel, if you want to enlighten me, do you guys know who I'm talking about, or is this something like he's literally standing with someone on a ladder and he says, "I got 2 minutes to figure out what your job is, or you cannot talk to me," or I don't know. It was very strange. There was like a whole kind of audience surrounding it. But anyways, I think it's called the career ladder, whatever it is. I'll tell you though, I need a debate here. I need to settle a debate because I think I've seen the two biggest celebrities I have ever seen at Radio Row and will not be topped. And I need to know who you guys think is the bigger celebrity. I saw Pete, the dog, Kirk Herbstreit's dog. We know what I'm talking about. Peter, is it Peter or Pete? Pete went up and sniffed my leg. It was a life-changing moment. Kirk Herbstreit, yeah, I'll tell you what. I got a video of Pete rolling around in a Jeep, like a little mini Jeep. I'm telling you, it warmed my heart. Or I saw the strawberry Pop-Tart that went AWOL after the Pop-Tart Bowl. He was right outside my hotel. The strawberry, yeah, he's strong, he's swole. Yeah. The protein strawberry Pop-Tart. So who's the bigger celebrity? Is it Pete the dog or is it the swole strawberry? We're going with Pete. Yeah. I know. I saw the Pop-Tart this morning. I sent it to my friends. I'm like, I have found the celebrity I am most starstruck by. And then I saw Pete the dog. By the way, Kirk Herbstreit threw the ball, and he threw it a little further than he wanted to, and it went under like a black curtain. And Pete the dog ended up on DraftKings set, trying to get the ball. It was just that kind of chaos today. I could not speak a word to Pete. I didn't want to do anything wrong. And Pete, that man has an entourage. I'll tell you what, or that dog has an entourage. Yeah. Oh, the career ladder guy. Yeah, I heard he's a big deal. People are filming him for some reason. I had no idea. I just thought, hey, anytime you set up a ladder in the middle of something's going to happen. And I thought that it was just some guy getting a race shot of something or trying to hang a banner or something. I don't even know. I couldn't even figure it out. He was with Roger Goodell. Anyway, and we're here. We're here. Hey, I saw Cam Newton here today. By the way, for those who are going to be watching the videos back, you're going to see a cameo Cam here on the next interview we have with Rick Neuheisel. So that's a little Easter egg for you to look for in terms of that. Yeah, it's good. This show has been so interesting, man, and it's been so interesting to be here and the conversation surrounding it. I know I started at the top of the show talking about the Tom Brady thing. Is this a controversial take by Tom to not back the Patriots? Are we feeling like he picked the wrong message to send, or? Well, it's not the fans that are mad. It's his former teammates. Like Vince Wilfork said, "Hey, what the hell, man? Like you back your boys, you back your team. That's the team who made you." And Brewski's the same way. He's like, "Vrabel's your guy, man. You got to root for him." I go ahead, Dan. Who cares? He's a fan, man. He acts like a fan in the booth. Yeah, I don't think anybody. You don't need to act like anything. He is a fan. He's acting like a fan in the booth the whole time. He's been like, oh, oh my God. He's just your guy on the couch next to you. I think that's worked for Tom, right? And so if Tom's got certain rooting interests, I think he's got to root for certain people. And I think he miscalculated how that was going to perceive, and maybe a little more he was trying to be a little more diplomatic, and instead he had his cake and ate it too. You know what I mean? Like he was trying to have his cake and eat it in terms of what he was trying to do there. He's not even calling the damn game. So like, what does it matter? Like Tom is, if Tom was calling the game, maybe we're doing something with that. But I just don't know exactly, what the motive is behind it. Like, what's the problem with him back in the Patriots, right? Like, where is, walk through the logic ladder for me, right? If he does back the Patriots, who's going to get mad? I don't think anybody gets mad. Everybody just understands because he's a Patriot quarterback. Everybody. I just had a theory pop in my head, Jorge. I just had a theory. Do you think he's trying to disassociate himself from the Patriots just a little bit because of all the news we're hearing about Robert Kraft, Bill Belichick being shunned from the Hall? You think Brady's trying to ensure his first ballot Hall of Fame vote by saying, well, I don't really, I don't root for the Patriots, or I'm not, I don't know. It's a theory. He's trying to distance himself from the Patriots emblem. I don't know. Maybe that's what it is. You shouldn't have hard feelings. They built a damn statue out in the front of the stadium. I stood next to that damn thing. Jerry Rice out there, man, he's repping Niners forever and ever, and that dude played for 3 or 4 different teams, didn't he? Like that, but he's like, I'm Niners. He's wearing the Niner chain. Every Niner game I've been to, he's out there doing the thing. Yeah, he was a Raider. He was a Seahawk. I don't know what the hell he was doing all kinds of different things. But all I'm saying is, Brady, he does not need to toe the line here. You are a Patriot forever. You should root for the Patriots. Yeah, but like he roots for the Niners. Like anytime there's Niners stuff, you hear Montana rooting for the Niners. They're like, yeah, come on, here we go, Niners, right? It's every player owns the team that they played for, especially the one that they played for the longest. It's not like it's some weird kind of like, odd thought to say, oh my gosh, I need to be diplomatic about it because I'm in the booth. Brady's thinking about this too hard. Dude just needs to root for somebody in the Super Bowl. Come on. Well, he's baiting his former teammates more than me. I'm telling you that right now. His former teammates are not happy. And I've seen a few of them around. I've been hearing that kind of talk. So that's all I'm saying. All right, we're overdue for a break. When we come back, we got our guests coming up, Rick Neuheisel and Evan Cohen. You're going to hear them back to back. So stay with us behind the bench, rolling along on 1430 ESPN.
There, where they're just out. I'll turn it down so you just get some.
Any take it. There you go. There you go. How you doing? You good?
Good. How you doing?
Is it?
Right. A key cam makes things louder. That's but yeah. You guys just
That's great.
Wait.
Question. What do you want to? You want to get something good for dinner? 3, 2, 1. All right, please be joined. By our next guest, Rick Neuheisel, here with us on ESPN Fresno. Pleasure to have you. Good to meet you. Glad to have you on the show here.
It is a treat to be on ESPN Fresno. I've got a bunch of old fraternity brothers from Fresno.
Yeah, Fresno.
Yeah, Matt Defendis, Luke Palmo.
Okay.
Those were my guys. They were all great guys. And I've made a number of trips to Fresno to hang out with those guys.
Central Valley, you
Yeah.
know, the beautiful Central Valley there, going through it, you know, of course. You ever trek out there to the Central Valley from
When you want. I'll do it. This part of it. When you want. I'll do it 3, 2, 1. Party good. All right. 3, 2, 1. Yep.
I'll do a 3, 2, 1. All right, welcome back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. Big thank you to our guests in the previous couple of segments, Rick Neuheisel, Evan Collin, all great guests that we've had so far on Radio Row. Gearing up for one more hour left here on the show. Wrapping up hour number 2, hour number 3 coming at you soon. Right around this next segment. Of course, we are live, and I think we're finally streaming. I've been figuring this thing out in terms of it. And I apologize, folks have been a little patient, impatient, all that kind of stuff. But it has been a learning experience here at Radio Row. That is one thing to say in terms of that. But we are excited to continue to build what we're doing here. Of course, the game in just 4 days from now. All kinds of people have been around. All kinds of things have been around in terms of that, and we're learning as we go. By the way, a little news update for you. I don't know if we reacted to it. My brain's leaking out of my ears as I say. producing Jorge or Daniel. Have we talked about the Niners and the Rams in Australia? I don't think we have yet. I don't think we have yet. Did I talk about that yet on the show? Not yet. Let's talk about it. First time we're gonna have a divisional game in an international setting. Melbourne, Australia. We knew the Rams were going to be there. We knew this a long time ago, and the Rams are going to open. I believe it's going to open the season. I think that was the plan, because it's going to be a kind of on that Brazil side of things. What do we make of the divisional matchup on a different neutral playing field and halfway across the world? We knew how the implications of the Niners and Rams matchups affected the division race and where things went. But I wonder if there's a little bit of an irritation with that kind of importance of a game being one that's going to have all kinds of factors outside of football affecting it. I'm not in love with the idea of Niners and Rams being played somewhere with all of the X factors that are going to be surrounding that game for it to be in Australia. It could have been somebody totally different, a totally different vibe to it, but we saw it last year with the Chiefs and the Chargers, or this season, I guess, from the Brazil game, and the Chiefs and the Chargers matching up in a divisional matchup. But I just don't know if I'm in love with the idea of a divisional round or a divisional game taking place in a country and an atmosphere that nobody is used to yet in playing in Melbourne, Australia. I think I would have done something else with the Rams schedule in terms of that. But what do you guys make of that affecting both teams, the Niners and the Rams, going to Australia for that game? It will be the Rams home game, just by the way, designated Rams home game. Niners are not going to lose a home game because of this. It's going to be one of their road games. Okay. It's like literally, what is the time in Australia right now? It's literally Friday. It's like literally Friday morning right now in Australia. Yeah. Was it Wisnowski that was are you referencing him, or was it Mitch? Yeah. Yeah. I know there's Jordan Mailata for the Eagles, the lineman, but he's from New Zealand. But you get my point. By the way, it's almost noon tomorrow in Melbourne, Australia right now. Like they're literally in the future. They're having lunch right now in Melbourne, Australia. Yeah. Daniel, is it fair to have a division game, a game that has so much weight on it that the Rams are going to have to, like you're not isolating that matchup anymore in a vacuum of the 6 divisional games. That one's just going to have a different feel to it. And I frankly, I do believe that the Chiefs kind of were affected by that really at the beginning of the season, right? Playing a divisional game against the Chargers where all the factors of travel aren't necessarily giving you the benefit of what if the Chiefs just randomly played in LA on a certain week, because you knew that whole stadium in SoFi was going to be red, full of those jerseys. And to me, the Chiefs, I think, got off on the wrong foot and kept playing catch up on the season, and that's why they eventually spun out and careened off a cliff, as a team this year. But I worry maybe for the Rams' sake or the Niners' sake that you sit here and you get off to a wrong foot because of it, and you're just going to be playing from behind because you're playing catch up because the NFL wants to go sell more dollars in Australia. I don't know. I just don't know if I'm in love with that matchup being the one that determines it. Yeah, certainly. Oh, talk about a short week, man. When you're coming out of Australia, you already lose a day or and a half, right? Or you're going back. I don't even know how it works. You go back in time. You could leave Australia at like noon and you could be back in the States by like, I don't even know, like 2 p.m. the same day, right? Is that how that works? I don't know. I flew to Australia. I never understood it. I felt like I was on a plane forever. I'm telling you right now, the flight to Australia was one of, I love being in Australia. I've done the flight. That flight is brutal, man. It is brutal. And it's just dark all the time. They make sure they close the windows so you just don't get like affected by any sort of, I don't even know. I don't even know the science behind it. Who knows? It's going to be strange, but I don't know. Put the Charger Ram game there. I don't know. Put the Bills Ram game there. I don't know. I just or yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, people love it. People love it. Yeah. We got to hit this break, but we'll talk about it more right after end of hour two, hour three coming up.
NFL honors. We got Matthew Stafford up for a award. I'm so excited. They let me know. Hey, guys, the electricity. Can't believe that the Pats and the Seahawks.
That's right. Behind the bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. One more hour before we say goodbye for the evening and head on out. and send you to Laker basketball tonight against the 76ers. Correct. That is who we have on the airwaves, I believe, hosting the Sixers tonight. And yeah, that's at 6:45, 7 p.m. Tip off there over on 1430. So stay tuned for that. Of course, we're hanging out here on Radio Row. The crowd has certainly thinned as we move along here over the next hour here, and it's been a great guest list. Coming up in this hour, we have a couple of great conversations coming up. Eric Armstead. Hey, the NFL honors are tonight, which means we find out who the Walter Payton Man of the Year is, and we did talk to the reigning Walter Payton Man of the Year on the year as well. So that's going to come up in about 10, 15 minutes or so, about 10 minutes or so from now, in terms of it. Q Myers also going to join me as well, talking Raider talk and catching up and all the Fresno conversations that are surrounding it. So it's good. It's good as we roll along here on this Radio Row week. I Joe can laugh about it because he can see the mental calculations I do every time somebody walks up to our booth here, our table, and are asking if they can come on the show, and I have to find a real nice way to kind of deal with them because as I meticulously book these shows and put them together, you have to be very prudent on who you're talking to and what kind of guests you're putting on, and unfortunately, Fresno, I'm doing the service for you. I want to make sure we have the relevant people you want to listen to. And unfortunately, sometimes it gets a little bogged down with all the people trying to push whatever in terms of it. So I hope you know I am a bastion of what you're interested in. And I hope you are finding the conversations interesting as opposed to me talking to, I don't know. I don't even know. I can't even think of like all the things we've been offered today in terms of conversation. But I'll tell you what, you're getting the best. You're getting the best. I almost got attacked by a snake today. Jorge, Daniel, I don't know if you do that. Maybe I'm being a little hyperbolic. But Robert Irwin was walking by our booth. And a lady just had a snake around her neck, and the snake was very much looking at me as it was walking by. I'll tell you what, it was eyeing me up, man. I got yeah. McAfee. I'm pretty sure he was on the way to McAfee when that was going on. I'm pretty sure. Yeah. Yeah. He walked exactly right behind me. If you're in the stream, he walked behind me and then went to the McAfee stage, which is to my right of where I'm sitting right now. Joe's actually playing cameraman right now, showing the McAfee stage as we speak on the stream. And yeah, and he announced that. Also announced, by the way, did you guys see the news that the Cowboys are going to be playing in Rio? So the Cowboys get a game in Rio, and God help us if they put Philly and Dallas down that might tear the city apart in terms of how that'll turn out. The Dallas Cowboys have been confirmed as a team that will be hosting a game in Rio de Janeiro. They have not selected the opponent of who will be playing them in Rio. So, who are the Dallas Cowboys playing next year? Let me look that up. Will they send the 49ers there too? Okay. Right. All right. Of all the games the Cowboys have, they have the Giants, Eagles, Commanders. We know this. Who would be a good Brazil? The Niners are supposed to play in Dallas this year, so they would put that game out because they're already there. Jaguars are already going to play an international game in London, as they always do, so they're out. So your contenders are in Rio. Are they going to send the Cardinals? Are they going to send the Titans? Are they going to send the Buccaneers? Are they going to send the Ravens? Or are they going to send? Well, that's it. That's the list. You think Bucks Cowboys in Rio de Janeiro is happening? Yeah, because the Bucks are the closest to Dallas or to Rio geographically. Is that what we're doing? In Tampa and Florida area. Feels logical. Feels like a logical choice. Yeah, I think that's a good contender. What do you think, Daniel? We're calling our shot. Bucks Cowboys in Rio. Um, it's going to be interesting. I think there's a Ravens angle there. I think the Ravens could be sneaking in there against the Cowboys in Brazil. I think I can see them putting Lamar down there and putting Lamar on the international stage. So I I will plant my flag in Ravens Cowboys, and you guys are going to be picking Bucks Cowboys. Okay. All right. No, I know they did Saint. They announced Saints Browns next year in Paris, right? The Browns and the Saints. I saw the joke on the internet of France being like, "Hey, here's the Statue of Liberty," and the U.S. responds with, "Hey, here's the Cleveland Browns." Yeah. Hey, maybe the Browns are going to be good. Who knows, man? I don't know. Shador, isn't that what we're Pro Bowl quarterback Shador Sanders is going to lead the Browns out of futility. So that's how it's going to work, huh? Anyways, yeah, the Jags will have a London game. I'm sure they'll have two more London games. I actually should ask. We have the Ireland guys behind us. They're not here right now. Maybe I got to ask them, like, what intel do you got on if there's an Ireland game next year? Like, who would they want to see? Like, I know the Steelers are kind of pretty embedded in there, but I may have to tilt the ear tomorrow of our Ireland NFL contingent media guys that are sitting right next to us. They've been great neighbors. We've had great neighbors, Joe. We've definitely had great neighbors. What do we have? San Diego, ESPN San Diego behind us here. I don't know who's at these tables. It feels like a different crew every day. These tables being the ones to our left. Yeah, but I don't know. I'm just learning as we go. We have the Patriots folks a little bit our way as well, but all right. Well, let's take a break. Let's get on with some interviews here. What you're going to hear next after this break, Eric Armstead joining me, talking with Nationwide and NFL Man of the Year. And then Q Myers is going to follow after that. We'll wrap up the show. I'll say goodbye for the night. So a couple more interviews coming up from Radio Row right here on 1430 ESPN. We're here with Eric Armstead, current Jaguar, former 49er, here with Nationwide on behalf of the NFL Man of the Year, Walter Payton Man of the Year honors here as well. Eric, it's good to have you here on the Super Bowl week, Radio Row. How are we doing on this Thursday afternoon?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Just grinding away, you know. It's a long week, but you got to pace yourself, right? But it's good to have you here. You're here on behalf of Nationwide, of course, for the Walt Payton Man of the Year award, and of course, you're one of the recipients from the past, last year, right?
Yep.
And first of all, just tell me about that honor. Of course, tonight we're going to add a new entry into it with the NFL honors, and tell me about that honor and you know what has been so impactful about receiving that award.
It's a huge honor. It's the most prestigious award in the NFL, and you know, Nationwide, partnering with the Payton family and NFL, have done a great job of truly elevating the award and make it what it is today. And you know, Nationwide has supported player causes for years now, donating over $4 million, and so it's not just about the award or the honor, but it's actually about partnership and coming together to, you know, solve societal issues and support player causes. And we have so many great men in this league, and you know, it's an honor for me to represent one of the men, you know, with how I choose to live and how I choose to have impact. And so it's been awesome. Glad to be here and represent here this year with the Super Bowl being back in the Bay Area.
Right.
And yes, it's a great vibe.
Tell me a little bit about the cause for you. You know that you of course are working so closely with the Walt Payton Man of the Year, and what you've been kind of connected to in terms of the causes that matter to you.
Yep. Important for me is education. And I feel that the only way that we'll get to where we want as a society and as a country is if education is truly equitable, and that all youth have opportunities to become what they want to be in life, whether that's through school or career opportunities. And so our organization, the Armstead Academic Project, is doing that work. We're meeting youth where they're at. We're providing academic support, and we're also providing opportunities to explore what they want to be in life. And hopefully they can get a job that they enjoy and passionate about, and make good money for themselves. And so that's what we love doing, and how we support our youth.
You think about back when you were a kid, right? And like, what do you want to be growing up? And of course, the options and stuff like that. You know, tell me a little bit about your own experience with that. You know, and of course, you find football and all of that. But how was that experience for you, and you drawing into it with your own foundation?
Yeah, education in school was a struggle of mine. I had reading issues growing up, and so it's really the foundation of the work that we're doing is making sure that you know, students feel realized and feel seen, that you know, you can overcome these struggles and these challenges. But it takes support. It takes a community. It takes you know, my teachers and my mom to making sure that I got the support that I needed to, you know, get back ahead and not fall behind. And so I want young people to have those that same support. And you know, it really has framed a lot of the work that we're doing.
I want to think back, you know, obviously getting nominated. You've been a multi-year nominee for the Walter Payton Man of the Year, and just in finding out that as a player, maybe take me back to the first time, because you know the weight of the award and you know the weight of actually just being a nominee. You know, tell me about your experience realizing that, hey, my work is being recognized, but it's about, you know, the betterment of the communities that are around me. What was that feeling like, knowing you were being recognized for that?
It was a huge honor being a nominee back in 2020. I was a nominee 5 times before winning the award, and every year I was a nominee, it was a phenomenal experience. You know, it really elevated the work that we were trying to accomplish. It brought validity to it. We felt seen. We felt we had a partner elevate our work. And that's really the only way you can truly have impact is through partnership. And Nationwide has been great partners of this award and supporting the work that we're doing.
You think back to last year's NFL honors, and tonight NFL honors happens. One guy is going to be getting this award here. Like, what are they going to be experiencing tonight when a name gets called, and how is that going to be like for them being the next Walter Payton Man of the Year?
It's going to be an amazing experience for them. I was nervous. I didn't know that I had won until that moment, and so it was a surreal moment. I had nerves, but I got calm, and I went on that stage and wanted to deliver a message to our country and to people really about humanity and how we can come together. And I felt I did my best with that, but it's going to be an amazing experience for whoever wins tonight.
Absolutely. Let's talk a little bit about your time here in San Francisco too, right? You back here in the Bay Area, of course, and this was home for the first time for you in the NFL. Tell me a little bit about this area, and why it was so impactful, obviously, in your career and becoming the guy that you are in the NFL who's been around for a while now.
Yeah, Sacramento raised me, but I became a man in the Bay Area. I was here for 9 years, and like I said, this is where I became an adult.
Right.
I matured so much here. So many of my core memories are here, and it's a great place to be. There's amazing people here. And I really enjoyed my time here, and that's never going to change. And I just love everything about. I'm a Northern California kid, man.
Yeah,
that's just what it is.
It's nice to have the game back here. You've been in a couple, right? And what are the players experiencing this week? The teams here, those guys who maybe not experienced it first time. Like, you think back to that week and how it was down in Miami, and that whole experience of was it a whirlwind? Did it go by fast? Did it feel drawn out? Like, how did it feel that week?
It definitely was a whirlwind. You don't know what to expect. But I will say the second time around, the Super Bowl in Las Vegas, I was much more prepared. I was extremely calm. I knew everything that we had to do to set myself up for success in that game. It was a lot better the second time around.
Certainly. You had a chance to come play against your former team this year with the Jaguars. Is that a strange experience going back to playing from the visitor locker room, playing at
it was a unique, strange experience. But one, I just lived in the moment. So many memories and great connections with so many people in that organization, and so it was a little weird being on the other side, but it was also a phenomenal experience getting the dub and being able to see a lot of great friends that I built so many relationships with.
A lot of Coach of the Year nominees, and your guy's one of them, Liam Cohen. Why should he win the award tonight? What has he done? Stump for him a little bit if you got it for us for Coach of the Year.
The proof is in the record, but also not just the record. You look at where we came from. Where we came from as an organization too. And, it wasn't just, you look at some of the other coaches that are up for it.
Right.
No knock on them, but, there's a history of success before them at those organizations. And so what he was able to do to get it turned around, the culture turned around, and flip our record, I think he's the right guy for the award. And also, too, I'm really excited about what's next in the future. And, also, too, you look at, the level of competition that we played this year, I think really stands out. We played, probably like 8 or 9 playoff, maybe like 8 playoff teams.
Right.
And,
we're surging and the way that was going. Of course, it's exciting to see how this season will end. And I don't know if you have a little insight on maybe a little prediction on either of these two. I don't believe you played either of these. No, you played Seattle this year. So give us a little take on what we're looking at this matchup on Sunday.
2 very good teams. When you look at New England, defense is phenomenal. Offense, has playoffs. It had some bad weather games, but took a little bit of a slide in the playoffs. But during the year, their offense was phenomenal as well too. And then look at Seattle, defense probably the best in the league, and fast, physical. They got guys on every level of their defense, and then Sam Darnold, bro, they're running the football.
Yeah.
They're playing to his skill set of moving the pocket, taking deep shots down the field. He's very accurate and can control a game. And so I don't know, it's going to be a good game. I'll probably give, on paper and from what I've seen on film, give the nod to Seattle. But if New England won, I wouldn't be like super shocked.
Right. Yeah. Pretty incredible where Sam Darnold's been. He was in the locker room with you 2 years ago, right?
Yeah,
That's pretty incredible.
That's my guy. He's a great guy.
Pretty incredible journey for what he's been through. All right, Eric, I appreciate it as always. Thank you for stopping by here on ESPN Fresno, and best of luck the rest of the week. Enjoy it.
Appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
When you want.
I'll do a 3, 2, 1. Jorge, good?
Good, man. Appreciate it.
One. All right, we're with a familiar voice for the Fresno airwaves out here. Q Myers joining me now. He's with the Ravens. One. All right, we're with a familiar voice for the Fresno airwaves out here. Q Myers joining me now. He's with the Raiders, of course, and Q. is it good to be back on ESPN Radio, Fresno Airwaves?
Yeah, man, I love Fresno. I really do, man. There's certain places that I love. One we're in right now, the Bay Area. I love the Bay Area, born and bred and raised. And I always say the 559, you know, I was raised in the Bay, but I learned a lot. Life lifed me in the 559, right? My son went to Roosevelt High, so obviously going to always have ties there. But the 559, man, was great for me. And you know, just kind of being around those streets and doing music radio out there and meeting so many people and knowing a lot of people to this day and still getting love in Fresno, man. That's awesome, man. And I was always told when I got to Fresno, they said, a lot of people said, well, you can only do so much here. You can't, you know, nothing big is going to come out of Fresno. And I was like, why not? What are you talking about? Fresno's got so much talent. I think a lot of people sleep on Fresno. They'll drive through past the 99 and they'll see Fresno and all 12 exits that they have up the 99, which I think is extreme. I'm like, man, there's 12 exits. What are you talking about? But it's just, it's so funny, man. Like people, oh, you know, I just stopped at Fresno for a quick minute, but I'm going to, I was like, man, Fresno got it going on, man. I love Fresno. So, yeah, man, it's a long-winded way of saying I'm glad to be back on the airways.
Of course. You're doing great things with the Raiders, of course, and you got your whole program there. And, you know, you've been following the Raiders for a little bit now, of course. Yeah. How's that been on the Raider beat?
I mean, it's always an adventure. You know, there's never a dull moment when it comes to the Raiders. Unfortunately, they haven't found a way to get on the winning track. Yeah. And so, you know, being in Las Vegas and being there firsthand and being at the facility and checking out, you know, how this thing is trying to be put together has been, you know, frustrating for Raider fans. It's been, you know, annoying and anger is felt, but at the same time, once again, they have another chance, right? They have another opportunity. They got the number 1 overall pick. They haven't had that since 2007. They have, you know, a new head coach coming in, and we're all going to see what he can do on Sunday and Super Bowl Sunday. You know, and Clint Kubiak, we'll see what his offense looks like for Seattle, and so that's going to give you a little bit of a glimpse. You know, a guy like Ashton Genty should be excited about, you know, that kind of offense. Brock Bowers should be excited about that offense. There's a lot to like about the potential, but we all know what potential is until they actually maximize it. So they got a lot of work to do, but I mean, covering the Raiders as just a kid that grew up as a Raider fan, going to the Coliseum and hustling tickets at BART to try to get into the Coliseum. And, you know what I mean? Like, kidding me? This is what I do for a living. That's why, I mean, I can never complain about a day at work because it's not really work.
No, of course not, especially when you fan first on that side of things. And the Raiders, you know, it's so branded in this area, right? You still see it from time to time. I was seeing Barrett Davis play bad as the Raiders.
Yeah.
You know, like when you're Bay Area through and through,
Yeah.
But what, you know, memories, right? The Coliseum.
Yeah.
You know, what comes to mind when you think back to those days? You got a game in mind you think about that you've been there?
Man, there's so many great games. The Coliseum, you know, we always say that, you know, it was a dump, but it was our dump, right? And it's like you can have an ugly kid, but you can't tell me my kid's ugly. I can tell you, like, that sure is an ugly baby, but you can't tell me that. So the Coliseum wasn't anything to be all, you know, super happy about and fired up, but it was just that it was ours. And you knew that nobody was walking in the Coliseum that wasn't a Raider fan repping their colors, right? And if they did, well, good luck to them, right? And most of the time, you knew who the other fans were because they just didn't have a jersey on, or they just were dressed like a normal dude. And you're like, oh yeah, that's not a Raider fan. But at least they understood and they respected the grounds. In Vegas, as much as I love Allegiant Stadium, you just don't have that. You don't have that kind of, you know, home field advantage, you know, especially when you're not a winning organization. So if you're a Niner fan, hey, I'll go to the game. I want to go to Vegas for 3 days. If you're a Chiefs fan, I'll go to the game. I want to go to Vegas for 3 days. Browns, like the Browns fans have, you know, they do chartered buses and charter planes to Vegas. And so do the Bears fans. It's like, there's no one that looks at the Allegiant Stadium in Vegas and says, yeah, man, that's intimidating to go there. Not that I, you know, try to talk about violence or anything, but at the same time, it's like you want to have that home field advantage. So they need to get back to winning ways. Right. Hopefully Clint Kubiak can help them do that. And more importantly, they need to have someone to have hope around. And if they draft Fernando Mendoza, like many of us believe that they're going to do, could you imagine how many Mendoza jerseys you're going to see in Allegiant Stadium? right? With the Raiders,
The Mendoza,
Raider fan
the Raider
base.
fandom,
You tell me that Mendoza.
Hispanic heritage.
Thank
around
you.
it.
You tell me that fan base ain't gonna those jerseys ain't gonna sell off the shelves quickly, man. Come on.
More popular jersey in the Central Valley would
Exactly.
be a Mendoza jersey or a car jersey.
Exactly.
It's going to be a battle between those two.
Facts.
Well, back in '16, man, I think about that season a lot,
was
especially with the
incredible.
Fresno State side of things.
Yep.
That's the last real. You feel like the black hole was the black hole, really, that
Yeah.
year too. Like, what do you think about that season and the what could have been?
Man,
all
what
that.
could have been, should have been. I honestly believe, and this is not just being a Raider fan, I believe that they're going to the Super Bowl that year. Every bounce that they had, every bounce that they needed went their way. Everything that they had going, just everything worked. Starting the season, you remember the very first game was in New Orleans, right? And they were losing that game, and then all of a sudden, Jalen Richard, he gets in the game, his very first carry of his career. He takes it to the house, and all of a sudden they're back in the game. And then Jack Del Rio goes for 2. Everyone's like, "What are you doing? Kick the extra point, just tie the game." He goes for 2. Boom, Michael Crabtree. We like to call him Michael Crabtree. Makes the catch. Boom, 2-point conversion. They win the game against the Saints on the road. That was the start of a season that was magical. And then unfortunately, it ended on Christmas Eve at the Coliseum. I was there. Little Q was there. Littler Q was there. Mama Q was there. We were all there.
Yeah.
And they win the game against the Colts, but Derek Carr breaks his ankle. And that was over. And as soon as he broke his ankle, it's like silence. And I remember when the game was over, me and my older son, we understood the situation. Little Q, who went to Roosevelt, he didn't quite understand. So he's like, "Dad, why is everyone so quiet? We just won." My son said, "Because Derek Carr is done for the season. It's over. He ain't got no quarterback. This sucks." Like, he was so mad. I was like, "Yeah, what he said. Just go ahead and repeat what he just said." And that's what it was. And unfortunately, that was their season. And it just feels like, damn, man, that's how that ended. I really do. I'm not saying they would have won the Super Bowl, but I fully believe that they would have been in the Super Bowl.
There was a little aura, the magic.
They had the magic. It's just sometimes it's your season, right? You get all the bounces go your way. The turnovers that you need happens. Everything that you want to go in your direction does. And it did for them that year. And that point to the playoffs one more time since then.
Let me tell you. So I've been to Allegiant.
Okay.
And it is maybe the most memorable game you could think of at Allegiant.
I already know which one it is. You ain't got to tell me. It was the Patriot game.
We're throwing the little.
Jacoby Myers throws the ball back. Chandler Jones picks it off, but they called it a fumble recovery, so you figured that out. Takes it to the house, wins the game. Jacoby Myers becomes a Raider. Chandler Jones goes AWOL, and
Everyone's sitting. I'm sitting in the upper deck with my father, and at that moment, I knew. Yeah, we both share the worst sports memory of our lives. Then that was it. That was.
So you're a Patriot fan?
Oh yeah.
Okay, all right. Hey, fair enough.
Yeah.
So hey, congratulations on being in the Super Bowl again. Boy, you guys had to suffer a long time.
I'm trying to temper my
Right,
expectations.
right now, Raider fans are like, this guy sucks.
I feel like this is nice though. They're the underdogs. I'm like, there's no expectation to win. You don't got the GOAT right now.
How stupid is that? How stupid does that even sound? Right, the Patriots back in the Super Bowl. They had a couple down years.
It's the whole thing. Everyone's
Like,
rooting against the Chiefs.
What's that?
Everyone's rooting against the Chiefs, and they're like, all right, we don't got the Chiefs. Well, guess who's in the back? You just let the Patriots.
It's wild, man. But big ups to them. Big ups to Mike Vrabel, Josh McDaniels, right? I mean, to be able to come into the organization, they spend a lot of good money.
Right.
They got it right. Drake May, second year, he's in the MVP conversation. So, look, I mean, all of that makes sense, and that's the hats off to the organization. And so you go a little further and you talk about the Raiders. Use that as an example, right? Everyone says, well, the Patriots or the Raiders aren't ready to draft their franchise quarterback. Were the Patriots ready when they drafted Drake May?
No.
Probably not, but they did.
Yeah, I saw them in San Francisco last year. I'm like,
Right.
yeah, that was definitely.
But they got their guy. And then this year, they made a lot of right decisions. They spent a lot of money. They got the offensive line right, got the weapons, got some defensive guys, brought in a really good head coach in Vrabel, really good OC in Josh McDaniels, and now they're playing on Sunday.
Right. It doesn't feel much different from the roster to last year to this
Right.
year. It was a couple key cogs that came in, but honestly, the structure, everything like that, and of course Mendoza mania. Like you watched the Indiana run, like
Yep.
you watch him closely.
I sure did.
This guy. He's got such an interesting character to him, right?
Yeah, he's a quirky dude.
I don't know what to make of, what that's going to translate in the NFL or anything like that. But what do you think in terms of the personality?
He's gonna be him, and that's all I ever ask anyone to be. Authentically be you, right? Don't be anyone. Don't try to be Derek Carr because he's the last guy that was the franchise quarterback. Don't try to be, Tom Brady because that was the guy you grew up, idolizing. Don't be someone else, man. Just be who you are, right? Be Fernando Mendoza. Be the best version of yourself. And I do believe that's what he's going to do. And that's what he shows you in his pressers. That he's not trying to, be the cool kid. He's, hey, man, I'm, whatever. It's funny. I just laugh when I hear his press conferences. I'm like, you know what? It's just Fernando being Fernando. And I can't wait, man. I embrace it. I cannot wait till he gets to Vegas. If, in fact, they draft him number 1 overall and be at all those press conferences and talk to him. He's supposed to be here sometime this week. And so, I'll be searching for him as well, trying to get him.
Of course, I love his when he's in the post games and he's staring right down the barrel.
Oh, yeah. He's had some media training. He's had some media
He's
training.
talking to the world.
Yeah.
Man. He knows what he's doing there.
Yeah, he does.
It's great. The Raiders, of course, where they're going to be, like you said, the turnaround could be quick in terms of it. And if I'm a Raider fan watching the Super Bowl, what am I thinking about in terms of, you mentioned it earlier at the top, but like what specific things am I thinking about when I'm watching this Seahawks version of this team?
I'm watching the offense.
Yeah.
I'm watching the offense because I want to visualize what the offense, if it's done right, could look like for the Raiders. If I'm looking at the Seahawks offense, I'm looking at Jackson Smith and Jigba.
Yeah.
I'm looking at their running game. I'm looking at the way they use their tight ends and thinking, okay, Brock Bowers, Ashton Shenty, Michael Mayer. Rashid Shaheed. He's a free agent. I'm looking at him.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, Clint, bring him with you to Vegas.
Yeah.
Right. I'm looking at all the way that they do things offensively and say they can do this if you put the offensive line in place. Oh, look at the offensive line. Right. They go out there and they bring in some, first round offensive linemen. All of a sudden now that the offensive line is short up. Right. And so if you put all the right pieces in place, you can have a dynamic offense. Like you said, Patriots, the roster doesn't look that much different than it did before. But now they're fine-tuned, they're tweaked, they're put in the position to succeed. And that's what I'm hoping that Clint Kubiak and Fernando Mendoza, as a pair can do for the Raiders moving forward. But yeah, if I'm watching Super Bowl 60, that's exactly what I'm looking at. That's exactly what it is.
Speaking of Super Bowl 60, just real quick, like thoughts on I think about these two teams. There's a hot quarterback, hot offense on one side with the Seahawks, and I think there's a hot defense on the other side with the Patriots. I don't think people are talking about how incredible the Patriots defense has been this postseason. Yeah, you can talk about the quarterbacks and whatever. You got to go line up and play, and they made it happen in terms of that. So what gives, right, between those two units? I think that's the side of the ball everybody's going to be paying attention to.
Who can protect the ball? Who's going to protect the ball? Because, Seattle's defense is phenomenal. I think Seattle's a better team. I'll throw that out there. But the Patriots' defense is really good. They can create turnovers, right? And they'll put you in a bad position. They can get to the quarterback, right? I mean, their defensive tackles are really good, right? It's going to be hard to run on them. And I know that the Seahawks are going to want to run the ball. That's how you get that Clint Kubiak offense really cooking, is by way of the run game. I just think a guy just walked by and looked like Jesus. He's got a Jesus robe on. That's awesome. There you go. Hey, you never know what you
never know what you see. Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, so you look at both these teams' defenses. Who can protect the ball the best? You have Drake May, second-year quarterback, and you have Sam Darnold, who everyone wrote off. I wrote him off. Even last year, I was like, yeah, but didn't they used to be that guy? Here he is in the Super Bowl. So, yeah, man, I think that there's, a lot of compare and contrast. Some people are saying it's going to be a blowout. I don't think it's going to be a blowout either way. I think it's going to be a close game down to the wire, which is all we can ask for. I do ultimately think Seattle wins, but Sam Darnold also led the league in turnovers.
That's what I was looking at.
So,
and who takes advantage more over turnovers?
Exactly right. So that's why the Seahawks have to protect the ball. If they're going to win, they have to protect the ball because the Patriots will take it away.
IQ, you got your Raider podcast, right? Your Raider show.
Yep. Locked on Raiders podcast every single day. I knock that out. Raider Nation Radio 920 Monday through Friday, 2 to 5 p.m. Knock that out. ESPN Radio. I'll do that. I do that. Game night, 7 p.m. to 10 p.m. So all the fine folks. I'm not sure what time you guys locally end on the.
What's that for Amber Indian?
That's me. That's me. Yeah. So you guys hear Amber and Ian?
Yeah.
Okay. If you hear Amber and Ian, you hear me. Then good.
Yeah, we got 6 to 7. I think Amber and Ian come after me, and then I think it's 7 to 10 Pacific.
Yep, that's me. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, I mean the 559, man. You can chime in with your boy every night, man. Just I ain't going nowhere.
From time to time, though, we got the Lakers to play. So.
Well, I mean, every once in a while, you got to do what you got to do.
Anyways, how about that trade then?
Yeah, there you go.
It's been a little while. Anyways, we're at a football show. Let's talk about it. All right, Q. Appreciate it as always swinging by, and of course, we'll see you around the rest of this week here, man.
Absolutely, man. Have a great time. 559. You know I love you.
Absolutely. Q Myers here on 1430. All right, welcome back to Behind the Bench here on 1430 ESPN Fresno, the Valley's local sports leader. I have some breaking news. I just saw a video, and Eric Corgi has predicted that the Seahawks will win Super Bowl 60. So take that with what you will in terms of it. So, do we stand Eric Corgi or